Them sounds will live with me forever. Welcome back to the Superior Comic Show, and today we're diving into one of the darkest and most tragic events in the history of the Targaryen dynasty. Prepare yourselves for the harrowing tale of blood and cheese. So if you've been watching House of the Dragon Season 2, then you will have already seen this storyline play out on screen. But how different is it from the TV show to the books? Well, let's get into it. So, just like in the show, Rhaenyra's husband, Daemon Targaryen, vowed revenge and hired two men, Blood, a former gold cloak, and Cheese, a rat catcher, very familiar with the hidden passages of the Red Keep. This is where it changes. So, Blood and Cheese actually make their way to Alicent Hightower's chambers, as they know Queen Helena always brought her three children to wish their grandmother good night. So they kill Alicent's bedmaids and they bound and gagged her and waited for Queen Helena and the kids to arrive. And when they entered, they would kill her queen guard and take her 2-year-old Maelor from her and offer her the ultimatum. They would say, "We only want one to square things. We won't hurt the rest of you fine folks, not one little hair. Which one do you want to lose, your grace?" And once she realised what he meant, Queen Helena pleaded with the men to kill her instead. They just said, "A wife's not a son. It has to be a boy." She's warned the queen that she had to make a choice soon before Blood got bored and SA'd her little girl. So basically said, pick or we kill them all. And eventually she would point to her youngest son, Maelor, maybe because she thought he was too young to understand, or maybe it was the fact that Jacaerys was the firstborn and the heir to Aegon's throne. But Cheese would take it one step further and turn to Maelor in his hands and say, "You hear that, little fella? Your mama wants you dead." Then he would look at Blood, and then Blood, in one fell swoop, would cut Jacaerys' head clean off, which then spiraled Helena into just a huge depression. The assassins would escape, and this left the Targaryen family and the entire realm in just shock and grief. So the murder of Jacaerys actually fueled the fires of the Civil War, leading to even more brutal responses and continuing the cycle of vengeance, and it would become a symbol of the horrific deaths of the Dance of the Dragons. That is the story of Blood and Cheese from the books. Quite different to the show. In the show, it was a lot quicker. I didn't expect it in episode 1 of season 2. But the show, let's just compare the two here. So in the book there, I found Queen Helena was a lot more of a maternal reaction in the book. You know, the pleading with them, take me, kill me instead. And then when she did choose and they killed the other one, as it goes on in the book, she's done there. That's the end of Queen Helena's story. In the show, it was a lot quicker. She was a lot more dissociated almost. Not that she wasn't obsessed, she clearly was. But she offered a necklace first, and well, it wasn't as dramatic. Don't get me wrong, it still shook me to my core as a parent, but it just wasn't as emotionally crippling as it was to read. One thing the show done that was more horrific than the book was the sounds. The sounds of them sawing the child's head off. Like, I know when it comes to show and book adaptations, they couldn't really show a child getting beheaded on screen. I know it's Game of Thrones universe, but still, them sounds will live with me forever. I went up and I gave my kids were asleep. I gave them a hug and just held them for a second, because as a parent, Jesus, it's heavy stuff. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you knew about the story of Blood and Cheese, or if you're just finding out about it here. What do you think? Who done it better, the TV show or the books? And as always, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll chat to you more than likely tomorrow. Keep exploring that multiverse.